everybody, I'm Merisu the Art Sheep, and thank you so much for checking out this video. And today I'm drawing the Grand Duchess Anastasia Nikolaevna from the animated film Anastasia by 20th Century Fox and not Disney. It's true. It's true. This is not a Disney film. Disney just bought the rights to it. They did not make it. And it is my favorite non-Disney film. It is one of my favorite films of all time, period, including Disney films. Nothing really comes close to it outside of The Little Mermaid. And honestly, if I actually saw both of them fresh today, I would probably like Anastasia more. I would love Little Mermaid still, but if I had no attachment to either one of them, I would probably like Anastasia more. There's just a little bit that I gravitate to more. It's very elegant, it's very beautiful, it's a little more mature. I love the music. It's like more kind of, it's less bubbly than the Little Mermaid's music. Little Mermaid's music's very bubbly and energetic and Broadway-y, which obviously makes sense. That's what they're going for. No problem with it. I love the music in Little Mermaid, but if I did have to pick one, it would probably be Anastasia. But nonetheless, we live in this reality and nostalgia exists, and I did technically see Little Mermaid first, and I've always loved Little Mermaid. I used to dress up as Ariel. I used to always ask my mom to draw me pictures of Ariel or just a mermaid in general, and I would always then make it look like Ariel. I collected all kinds of things that were Little Mermaid. But to be fair, one reason why I couldn't collect that many things that were Anastasia related, because there just wasn't. The only thing I got, period, is a book, and it's old, and I drew in it. I hate the fact that I drew in it. I wish I didn't do that. I think I drew a mustache on Dimitri. I don't know why. I wish I didn't do that. I wish I didn't. I wasn't even the type of person to always do that with my books. I just did it with that one for some reason. I don't know why. I love that book. I wish I had a new copy of it, but whatever. Nonetheless, why am I drawing Anastasia? Well, for those who don't know, I just drew Anastasia. I just drew Ariel, and because of that, I've been kind of in the mood to draw my favorite princesses, and I was gonna do Aurora next, because she's my second favorite Disney princess. But it was snowing where I am. Yes, the blizzard has been blizzarding, where the sheep liveth in the middle of nowhere, and every single time I see a snowstorm, the first thing that will always come to my mind, never fail, is of course the song. Hear this song and remember, soon you'll be safe with me. Once upon a December. Oh, what was... I messed up on that last note. Whatever. Doesn't matter. You're not here for my singing. You're here for the art. But, yeah, I always think of that, so because of that, I was just really, really in the mood. And I thought of this just real simple, real elegant pose of just her standing in the room where you first see her in this dress. I don't know what you would call this dress. I know some people call it the coronation dress. I don't know why there was no coronation. I think it's also called the ceremony dress. I don't know. I just know I absolutely adore this dress. I love both dresses. I think I said this in my 25th anniversary drawing, because yeah, I drew a 25th anniversary drawing because I totally missed the 20th anniversary. I just kind of slept on it because I never really paid attention to when this film came out. I didn't really bother looking it up. I looked up a lot of old movies, times and when they came out, such as like any Cary Grant film, like Penny Serenade and This Is Our Life. I looked up stuff like that, but when it came to animated films, I just didn't really pay attention to it. I think the only one I really paid attention to was Snow White, and that's because I couldn't get over how old it was when I actually found out. It was like, wow, 1930s. Woo! That is definitely old. So yeah, that was like something that was really amazing to me. But I never really paid attention to films like The Little Mermaid or Anastasia for the longest time when they came out. And when I did find out that this film came out in the same year that I did, I was like, I have to do something really good for the anniversary. But by then, I already missed the 20th anniversary, and I also missed the Broadway showing. Why? It's not even showing anymore, nowhere near me, and even if it wasn't torn, the original cast is gone. They're not the ones who are doing it. I would have so loved to gone to the theater. I would have driven to Kingdom Come just to see it, and I would have enjoyed every second of it. But no, at least somebody was kind enough to sneak a camera in there, and I was able to view it through that way via YouTube video. Thank you, person. I think that's technically a minor crime, but nonetheless, I thank thee because it gave me an opportunity to see it. Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, love this film. I drew a big drawing for its anniversary drawing, and I think for the anniversary drawing, I did like a mix between the two dresses because I wasn't sure which one to pick. And then I think for its next anniversary, I drew her in her Once Upon a December dream dress, because when I was really young, I liked that one more because of the hair being out. I also liked the crown more, and I liked the swooshy sleeves on it more. But I also like the blue sash-y thing on the coronation dress. I know that's probably not the name, but I'm just gonna call it that for simple sake, and a lot of people do call it that. So I was like, I always liked the dream dress probably more, but there was certain elements that I liked more on the coronation dress. So that's why I kind of did a mix. And it is kind of funny because it's like, I look back at that drawing. I actually got it made into a canvas art, and it's on my wall right now as I speak. And as I look back at it, I'm just like, this isn't good. This could be better. I actually kind of hate it now. I mean, I'm proud of it still. It was a major accomplishment. I worked on it for months. And it was, like, definitely good for the time. But now it's like, now I'm like, I've improved. I can do better. And this is what I did better. And this time I did do her coronation dress because I'm an adult now, and I think I like the coronation dress more than the Once Upon a December dress. The Once Upon a December dress, lovely. I love it. But I love the elegance and the maturity of this. And as you can see, I've given it a lot more details. I was inspired by several different cosplayers, I want to say. Seamstress. They were seamstress, and both of them made lovely, elegant Anastasia dresses that they sewed. And one of them, she did both the December dress and the coronation dress, and it was so lovely. And that's actually where I got the idea for this kind of like lacy pattern that I'm doing on her, whatever you call the opening part. I don't know the names. I don't know the terminologies. And then like the heart pattern, I got that from a different cosplayer. I was just looking up different ideas. That's where I also got the idea of making the necklace way more ornate and beautiful. I was also inspired off of real photos of Russian coronation outfits and royalty ensembles and such. One of them being the real-life Anastasia's mother, Alexandra, because I absolutely love that kind of fashion. It's so pretty, and I really like the crown. I forget the name of the crown that Anastasia wears. I just looked it up, but it's so beautiful, and I just really wanted to capture the elegance and beauty of it, and it was just really, really nice. And that's one thing I definitely noticed when I was doing research into Anastasia for the 20th anniversary drawing, and also this one as well, is that just how many things that they were able to put inside the Broadway version that they were originally going to do in the animated version, but it kind of got panned because they wanted to go... The producers wanted to go in more of a Disney-esque route and whatnot, so yeah. Which, to be fair, I'm glad that I do not mind the version of Anastasia that we got. I love it. Obviously, I love it. I don't care. It's not historically accurate. I'm aware of that. I don't care. I mean, I care in the simple fact that it is a real-life family, and there was a great tragedy, but if it wasn't for that film, I would have not even looked into it and be able to actually... take a look at their story, and because of that, I'm very familiar with the entire Romanov family and the Russian history at the time. I'm like, if you quiz me right now, currently, I wouldn't be able to tell you every single detail, but I am very knowledgeable in it, more than ever things, simply because of the movie, and because of that, it's such a great appreciation goes into it, and I love it. So it doesn't, like, bother me that much that it's not historically accurate, and I do think that they were doing their best to be respectful, and at the time of the movie's making, it wasn't confirmed that she was dead. But anyway, they were planning on making a lot more grounded, down to earth, no fantasy elements whatsoever, and a lot of those ideas did end up going into the Broadway play, and one thing that I did just find out is that her coronation dress was originally supposed to be red, and that is actually the color of the dress that she wears inside the Broadway play. So I was like, that's probably why. That's probably why, and I actually really do like that. That is really, really nice. Details. Speaking of details, you might have noticed a little while ago, yeah, I traced the background for the little detail on the wall. Yeah, I did. I don't got any excuse. I couldn't draw it myself, and I wasn't gonna pretend that I didn't do it, because I did! Because it's like, I couldn't figure out how to draw it. So I just traced it quickly. It was gonna be in the background, and it was gonna be so blurred. Like, my brother literally comes in, and you'll see it later. He'll vandalize my art, correcting it, which I do appreciate the art critiques. I do value them. But he just, like, wrote on top of it saying, fix this, fix that. And I'm just like, okay. And then when I got to the end, he's like, you blurred the background? And I'm like, I tried to tell you the background would not be seen that much in this. And yeah, so it's just like, he did all that work for nothing. Because it's like, it wasn't going to be seen that much. So that's why I didn't really mind tracing it that much. I love the backgrounds of the movie Anastasia, though. Every single one of them is like a painting. I think that's why... It's the same thing with Sleeping Beauty. It's the one thing that I think The Little Mermaid has, but not in the same way. Like, don't get me wrong. Little Mermaid's animation, gorgeous. But there's just something about Anastasia and Sleeping Beauty is that they're both mimicking, like, very specific painting styles. And they're literally the definition of what I would call moving art. Like, to the T, moving art, and just so beautiful, and, yeah, like I said, Sleeping Beauty, Anastasia, probably a level of excellence that has not been matched, ever, period, in my opinion. I kind of ended up putting my foot in my mouth when I was in my aerial drawing, because I was saying, okay, maybe Encanto, because I was trying to be generous, and such, and then when I was like, and then I kind of was elaborating, it's like, oh, maybe Encanto's not that detailed because of this or that, and then I was like, okay, I'm making it sound worse, people are gonna think that I hated Encanto. I didn't hate it, I actually did like it. It's not my favorite Disney movie, it's not even probably in my top 20, but I did like it, and I appreciate the work, but as I was trying to make it sound better, I was just probably making it sound worse. So it's like, never underestimate me to put my foot in my mouth and make things even worse. This is why I don't like speaking on anything that is remotely controversial, because I just know I ain't gonna do good at it. I'm not gonna do good at it all. So you see me coloring her hair. Don't get used to it. I'm gonna erase it entirely because I hated it. It looked too... I went for this, like... That's the problem when coloring this hair. I put this, like, luminosity shine over it, and I end up going for, like, a glossy kind of look, but it just always ends up looking so freaking fake. So it's just like, nah, I need to tone down the luminosity. So I end up erasing it, and everything I'm doing here is just pointless. Nothing burger. I know. I hate it when I do that. But at the same time, I am glad that I actually went back and changed it, because if I didn't, I probably would have just been like, I should have not done it that way. I should have not done it that way. And that's the problem with these drawings, is that you can go for miles on end. Miles on end. It's a drawing, it's not directions. You could go for hours on end trying to fix something, and you might think it's done. You think it's perfect, but then 5 minutes later after you push upload, you're like, crap. This looks like crap. Why did I do this? It's the same feeling that I'm having right now currently with my K-pop drawing. I was so proud of that when I came out with it. And now I'm just like, okay, well, this looks like crap. Let's get rid of it. Let's just burn it. We will not talk about it. And even the drawing that I did last, the drawing I did of my gals, even when I was finished with that in the moment, it's like, okay, Kyla could be better. The background could be better. Azura, she looks fine. I've actually been very pleased every time I draw Azura. Granted, I see improvement with each time that I draw her, but nonetheless, I'm never, like, disappointed. It's like, okay, I look at my current level of where I was at when I drew her, and I'm like, okay, that's actually pretty good. I'm actually pretty good at drawing Azura, I feel. I actually am very confident in drawing her. I do a pretty good job with her. I'm very happy with her. Misato's up in the air. Sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no. And with Kyla, it's most of the time, I'm just like, given my current talent level, I could have done better. I don't know why. I'm just not happy with her. And I love it. Not every time. There are a few exceptions. There's a few drawings of Kyla. I look back at them and I'm like, I actually really do like this. Yes, I could have improved, but at the current skill level, it is definitely good. But for the most part, it's a no. And that's what it was like with the Anastasia drawing. It was kind of like, yes, it was hard. Yes, a lot of things went into it. And yes, for my current skill level, I don't think it's bad. But there's just some things I could have done better. Like, for one thing, I put her hair ponytail thing in front. It should have been behind. I only did it so you could see it. And it's like, well, that's nice. It looks awful now, though. And I wish I didn't do it. I wish I didn't do it. But I did it anyway. And I hate it. But, yeah, in the case of this drawing, I definitely think that I took the time to go back and try to fix anything that I wasn't happy with. And does that mean I'll be happy with it 5 weeks later? Or even 5 minutes later? I'm not sure. I never know that until I push upload and I'm looking at it. But for the moment, as of right now, I'm pretty pleased with this drawing. I think I kept it very simple, and I think that's the biggest thing that I need to learn how to do. It's just know that not every single drawing has to be my magnum opus, a masterpiece. Sometimes when you there's a beauty to simplicity. Like, I look at drawings like by the illustrator Ask, or drawings by the illustrator, darn it, I forgot their name. I don't know. But my problem is I always want to be the next Wallop, or the next Kawase, or Rosary, or Fujikosho, or Suzunosuke. It's just like amazing artists like that. I just want to be like them. And then I realized not every drawing needs to be that way. Sometimes you can just do simple shading. Like, that's one thing I really need to probably do a little bit more, is drawings with just simple shading, like 2 colors practically. And maybe if I learn how to manage that, I'll get better at doing more colors. For the jewelry, I was gonna color this all by hand, but then I realized I don't need to do that because it would just kind of be wasting time. So I used all these gem and diamond texture brushes, and it was, oh man, like, yes, it would have been fun, kind of. I don't know, it would be a mixture of fun and hell on earth to color all those gems by hand, but I cannot deny that this gem brush made it so much easier. So much easier. And it definitely kept things much more relaxed and such. And then so the biggest thing that I always say when you're using something that's like a cheat is you never want to become over-reliant on it, and you never want to rely solely on it. So in the case of this diamond brush, I used it for the texture of all the gems, so that way I wouldn't have to color them, but I still went in with some highlights and shadows of my own, so that way I could make it be applicable to the lighting source that I had was my own personal lighting source, because obviously the entire pattern brush, it's just going to do the colors by random. The highlights, the shadows, it will all be dropped in by random. So anytime you do use those, if you really want it to look good and look accurate, always go in with your own brush and add your own highlights and shadows. Figure out where your light source is. See, that right there, that was my purpose edit. I'm sorry. I just noticed it. But yeah, always go in with your own shadows and highlights and try to figure out where your own lighting is and make the adjustments accordingly. Because if you do that, it will make your drawing look so much more better, and it will make the assets that you use seem less stock footagey. I mean, stock imagey, not footage. This is a drawing, it's not a movie. But yeah, that's definitely the biggest thing that I could see. Because I've seen so many people, they just use the asset brush like non-stop, and they just use like things, and they don't do anything with them, and it just looks so like, okay, that looks so drag and drop. And I don't mean to insult, but it's just like, you could do, there's things you could do to make it better, and I just think that, if you take the steps to actually do them, it can improve your art so much more. And I think that's the biggest balance in digital art, is that you need to learn, okay, when do I take a shortcut, and when is a shortcut not necessary? Because there are some things that you do have to just accept, hey, this is gonna be in the background, I don't need to do this all by hand. Like all those pearls that are on her dress, each one that's on the heart. No way was I gonna draw those all by hand. No way would I color those all by hand. That would be a nightmare. That would be stupid. Because it's such a small detail, it's not gonna be seen. So just use a shortcut, and I used the pearl brush that I had. In fact, it's actually a default pearl brush on clipstudiopaint. I don't think it's like in the newest version of clipstudiopaint. It's on the older default brushes from the older versions of clipstudiopaint. But that saved a lot of time. But then when it came to the diamond brush, I used the diamond texture, but then I also add in my own highlights. And by doing things like that, it can really save a lot of time. But yeah, that was the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked, do all the YouTube things. If you did not, thank you so much for watching this far anyway. It means a lot to me either way. Until next time, bye!